ladies and gents in Cyberland, coming back to you with another game review. And this time we are going into Zelda Breath of the Wild. Oh, wow. This was a very, very gorgeous game. It was very well crafted. It was a beautiful game. The way the creators did this game, it was just, it was amazing. It has been a long time since I really sat down and played a Zelda game. The last one I did before this was Twilight Princess, and I was really on an emulator because my GameCube, I wasn't able to finish it on there, and I wasn't willing to buy another one, so I just played on emulator. And before that, it was Wind Waker. So with this game, it's very long. It has a lot of things going on, and I mean a lot of things. And very, very action-packed, a lot of puzzles. It also takes a good amount of patience to play this game. This is not something you can just run through. But not everything you really need to do if you don't want to. It's your choice. There's a lot of missions I didn't complete, like side missions and stuff. I just wasn't really interested. And by the time I was done with, it was pretty much towards the end of the game. I was like, you know what? I just wanna call it a day. I had completed all the dungeons or the shrines, and I got all the gear that I could get. I don't know if I leveled up everything, and I didn't use all the gear either. But the one thing I did like about this is that they gave you different options in regards to the gear. You didn't have to use everything. There was some gear that you did have to use, like especially the gear when you're in the desert, and then the gear when you're in the water areas, like it makes it easier to move around. And then of course you had to use the gear when you're in the Iron Mountain, the Death Mountain and stuff. That was important. But overall, it wasn't just like you had to use everything. I think the gears I used the most was the shadow gear, like where you could sneak around, and then I used of course the blue shirt, that the champion shirt. I used that because I wanted to know how much energy my enemy had, and then that was really it. And then just the regular the travel. I forget the names of it, but I had a hood on. As you might see in the video, I had a hood on and I just did the stuff blue. Because unfortunately the champion shirt didn't have a full outfit. But I think I wouldn't be surprised when Breath of the Wild 2 comes out, they might incorporate that. And then also the hero gear that I got towards the end of the game. The Zelda Link tunic. I started wearing that towards the end of the game. As far as difficulty, it wasn't a very hard... Well, it was kind of hard at first because it had been so long since I played a Zelda game. So there was times where I was just getting my ass kicked. And then I realized after severe whoopings of the first beast, or divine beast, I ended up having to go to these shrines. I started going through here and just getting a bunch of them done because, as you know... started going through that and trying to get that done as much as possible because it just wasn't working out for me. Once we did that, then it started easing up. Like once I had more stamina, had a lot more hearts, I was able to really start maneuvering through the game. There were still times, as you can see in my gameplays, that I still got my ass handed to me at times, but otherwise it wasn't that difficult to play through. It just had its moments where sometimes it was a little more harder than other times. As far as the story, I was telling one of my friends about this. I feel that Breath of the Wild story just gave me this vibe of literally Revenge of the Sith from I'm saying Star Wars. So Revenge of the Sith. See, yeah, that's the outfit. That's pretty much the gear I spent the majority of the time wearing. But yes, Revenge of the Sith, A New Hope, and almost like Return of the Jedi, like the main themes of those films. It gave, like, this game gave you that vibe, because pretty much you and the Guardians, like the four Guardians, were supposed to take on Ganon, and we failed, and Link was severely injured, and then he got put to sleep, and then it's like 100 years later, and then you come back out to right the wrongs of what's been done to Hyrule and all these places and stuff. See, that's the outfit I pretty much wore the majority of the time. And as you can see, that's one of the things you can do in the game, is change the colors of your outfits, all your outfits. Another thing about this game too is, as you can see, I'm trying to hunt a horse. You can, I don't know the max amount of horses you can have, but depending on where you get the horse, the area, that horse can have certain things, like they have certain stats. Some horses' stats are better than others, but at first I didn't really pay attention to that. As you can see, I'm riding away, but the speed, some horses can have, I think the max they can have is 5, but then the specific horse that I ended up having, I think, 6. And then as you can see right here, the most tedious thing of this game was the Korok seeds. There's, I think it's like 900 and something, but in order for me to max out your bows and arrows, your shield area, and your weapons, you had to do, I think, like 400 and something of them. So in my videos, I only have to wear the ones I found, and that was it. I didn't go find them all because it was so tedious. And once I was done with that, oh man, it was such like a weight had been lifted off my shoulders when it came to that part of the game. As far as so back to the Star Wars analogy. So that's pretty much it. You're pretty much trying to right the wrongs and fix Hyrule, and you start coming across memories at certain points of the game, like these pictures that they'll do a clip of something that happened with one of the I just call them Guardians, but one of them with you and your interactions. And as you can see, you can upgrade your gear with the fairies. There's 4 fairies. They're located in different spots of Hyrule, and they'll upgrade your gear. You can do each one 4 times. And then, of course, when you're collecting stuff for monsters and beasts and stuff, those are the things you don't want to sell. So you can, because then it comes in handy to upgrade your gear using that. This right here, these are locations that you use to, they let you know where everything is in the area in regards to the map. So that was, the Sheik Tower, Sheikah Tower. So there's plenty of those. Those weren't too bad. Some of them, actually, I was able to do them when you're not supposed to do them just yet. I found ways to maneuver to get to the top, because some of them you have to, they expect you to have certain things before you can climb up them, but I was like, screw this, I'm going to maneuver that and get around it. And I did, for the most part. As far as my entertainment of it, there wasn't anything I didn't like in Breath of the Wild. I'm still on the fence if I would say I think this is the best Zelda game or Ocarina. I know at least in third place I'm going to give Link to a pass, because that game, see, this shows you the map and stuff, and you see my little horse. But Link to a pass I'd still give in third place, but it's just a debate if this is number 2 or if Ocarina is number 2 and this is number 1. It's the Hylian hood, and then I spent a lot of time using that. I keep saying that, but I forget these names. As far as the only thing that I have a gripe with this game, and I don't know if anybody else felt the same way, those who played the game, but my biggest complaint with this game, and it doesn't knock down the rating. I still give this game a 10 out of 10 yes sirs. It's if you've never played it, you gotta play this game. It's an amazing game from start to finish, and it doesn't take, once you get towards the end, it's really like, it's very straightforward to beat it, but the journey to get there is just, it's very rewarding. I felt it was. But the one gripe I had with this game, and it was only one thing, and I don't know what the creators were thinking when they did this. They probably should not have done this, just because this is a very very important thing to Zelda. Just you having the Master Sword at a certain point in the game makes perfect sense, and the fact that it doesn't break, because weapons in this game do break, shields break, but the Master Sword will just need a timeout. And as you can see, I'm fighting one of the Divine Beasts. This one wasn't too bad. I think it was the water one was the hardest one for me. But the Hyrulean shield, that was not available literally until the end of the game for me. And people can say, well, the reason why is because it's located in the Hyrule Castle. And you're like, well, you can get it any time. Like, no, actually you can't, because here's the thing. Let's just be realistic. If you only got 3 hearts, do you think you're going to be able to get through there and not get killed? Because it's in the bottom of the castle. And even with my hearts when they were at this point, I still didn't go there. I did not get that shield literally until I was maxed out. And I just felt like they did a disservice with that. The Hyrulean shield, you should have had an opportunity to grab it a lot sooner, and it should not have been where it has to be located in the castle. I just felt they could have done justice better with obtaining that and having it, because I really wanted to walk around with that shield. I think it's I always, when you think of Link, you think of him and that sword and that shield. It's just, they're a tripod. They go together. You can't have one without the other, kind of thing. That's what, and then of course his outfit. And as we can see right here, when you beat one of the beasts, then these machines are now fully operational like they're supposed to be, and they are trying to laser and break down the shield at Hyrule Castle, since Ganon had control of it up until you beat it, and then you see the last 100 years. As far as the difficulty, like I said, it wasn't too bad. The music was great, but it wasn't I don't think it was as memorable to me as when I think of the music for Zelda, Ocarina is so memorable. Like, from start to finish, everything, to this day I remember everything about the music from that game. Breath of the Wild wasn't as the soundtrack just wasn't as memorable to me. But that doesn't mean that I give the game any lower rating. I just, but everything else was memorable. The areas I went to, and then the going to these statues and upgrading your stamina and your hearts. It was just, it was just great. There wasn't anything that didn't, everything stood out. Everything had its place, but everything was just, it was so, the beauty of the design and the graphics were just, you could stand in place at times and just look at the art of how everything moves around. And another game that I'm currently working on, Ghost of Tsushima, it's the same thing like that. It's just the design and the art. It's just it's amazing. To me, the one area that I liked the most, I would say, was when you went to these damn things. Those things killed me a lot. These guardians, or I think that's what they were called. But it was nice when I finally had some health under my belt and had my hearts and stuff, that I gave them a whomping, like it was straight payback time. But my favorite area to visit besides it was where the Zoas, I believe they were. I think they were called Zoas, but it was a water area that I really liked how they designed that. It was really great. And the other thing is when you do complete the see, as you can see now, I have the Hyrule Shield. When you do complete the dungeons or beat the Divine Beast, you get powers from the guardians that you were with. That they help you and stuff. And just so you know, it is very important to do all of them because they're definitely going to give you a bonus when you take care of that. Also, the expansions are good too because if you notice where I'm at right now, that's my maxed out hearts. So you can't get fully to, but then you can have the other stuff. So with that being said, great game. Check it out, guys. I'll catch you on the next one. Ciao.